All right. So we are hearing a lot of conservative commentators right now and Fox News saying that the reason why Georgia was lost is because it was a Trump endorsed candidate and we need better candidates. Like, first of all, who? Can we just put that out there? Who is a better candidate than a local black man? Which, because I hate to say the identity politics stuff, but you needed to have a
It's
black man
true.
in Georgia, and someone who is the Warnick guy, or however you say his name. How do you say his name? The other guy, Warnick.
Warlord, whatever. Yeah,
War.
yeah, yeah. Just
He's kind of like
creepy guy.
a celebrity pastor, right? And we
Hmm.
needed, I think it was a great matchup of Walker versus whatever his name was. And let's not forget that they were calling Walker racial slurs on the left,
Hmm.
and they were putting him down, and he did a great job on the debate. And he's actually stepping up to help this country. He's not a career politician. We need more people to step up to help this country besides career politicians.
Wait,
And
so you're
then,
telling me that it's not Trump's fault somehow? Because
oh,
that's what
so
we're
that's
hearing.
so that's it's this
Yeah,
narrative going out right now that it's Trump's fault that we lost
Trump lost the
Congress.
Senate.
Yeah, Trump lost the Senate or whatever. That's silly to me. First of all, when does just an endorsement mean you're a loser? Like, that's
Okay.
not. There's so much more elements to an election than just, oh, because he gave this guy the golden stamp, that's why he lost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One guy endorsed him, which I mean, Ron DeSantis endorsed him too. So is it Ron's fault? Well,
Yeah,
let's not get into the
he got
Ron thing,
endorsed by
but
a lot
okay.
of people. Can we blame all those people then?
Yeah, seriously. Okay. So what I've put together is, and I'm going to add this onto the stream now so people can see. So I just retweeted some of the more recent stuff of the GOP sabotaging Republican candidates here in 2022, and this is just on my Twitter feed, so you guys can see if you want to check out my Twitter feed. It's the most recent stuff on there. And these are just a few examples of them attacking. Like, here's a really obvious one. um, okay, right there on the top. Let's see here. It says Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. So this is the Republican Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, not some guy from out of state in Georgia, came in, went on CNN. So what does that tell you? He's going on CNN. And he tells this story about he waited in line. This is the video right here, by the way, where he, shedding crocodile tears, and he waited in line for an hour to vote, and but he just decided he could not bring himself to vote for Herschel Walker. So that guy is publicly saying he's not going to vote for him on CNN days before the election, but it's
Republican.
Republican, but it's Trump's fault that Walker
Hmm.
lost. Or,
Hmm.
or he's not a good candidate, not a good enough candidate, which is what another clown said. Who is this? Um, yeah. Okay. So here's one. So this is Rob Smith. I mean, sorry, Rob, you're gonna get it. There's a lot of people saying this stuff, but you're just an easy example, so you're gonna get it. So here's Rob Smith coming out and saying, "Oh, he's just a horrible candidate," blah 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 blah, and I'm calling him out for this. Like, guys, we need to stop following people who are saying the same garbage as the stuff that's on CNN.
Wait, can I read this one by Rob Smith? Because I think it's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Herschel Walker was never, ever going to win that election. Well, Republicans need to start choosing better candidates. Okay, let's not forget that they just ran like a guy that has like a hump on his back and can't, like, the left, just their candidates are like trash. Okay,
Yeah, they
has a
don't
hump on
care.
his back, can't put a sentence together, just like Biden. Yet we need to have better candidates, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do not run him again, and do not make him a star in this
Uh,
party. It's pathetic, and some of you have embarrassed yourselves. Do better. Okay, first of all,
this is
do better. Okay,
ridiculous.
wait. He's using the term "do better." You know who has always told me to do better? The white
Who?
leftist Karens. The white leftist Karens. That's don't appropriate their statement,
So, are
man.
you
Like,
saying that Rob Smith has white leftist Karen energy? That's
this
what I got from that.
this post he does. In this post he does. But this rhetoric
I
that's
would,
coming out that it's Trump, it's because of Trump endorsed. This is all planned, guys. This is all
yeah, yeah,
planned to get people to start being like, maybe Trump is toxic for the party. We need to get
Yes.
rid of him. And it's
Yes.
kind of weird to hear many of our conservative commentators who just like to comment for a living all of a sudden start flipping the switch on Trump. When like 2
Yes.
years ago, they were like selling t-shirts with his, I mean,
Okay.
they still are selling t-shirts with his face on it and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's just the fact that people can't see this is all planned by the GOP, who is
Uh-huh.
the establishment GOP. If you can't see this, then I'm sorry, you're lost.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be one
Okay.
step ahead of these people. Go ahead.
And this is the overarching thread. You hit the nail on the head. This is the overarching thread right now, that if you're watching the news, see, this is how we're trying to help you to understand what's behind the narrative in the news right now. The narrative right now is that Trump lost the election. That's why we didn't have this big giant red wave. It's all his fault. And behind the scenes, though, what they've done is they've purposefully sabotaged their own candidates, like the lieutenant governor of Georgia coming out and saying, "Hey, I can't vote for our own candidate," right? And we'll show you here in a second some other examples of them sabotaging their own candidates. And the purpose is so that they can blame it on Trump, because really the goal is to attack Trump. And you are seeing a lot of conservative influencers and pundits repeating these swamp lies. They're basically a megaphone for the swamp agenda by repeating this stuff. It's not. So here's a perfect example. So here's Joe Kent. You see this guy right here, Joe Kent. He was running for Congress, and Kevin McCarthy put out this attack ad against Joe Kent, our own candidate, during the primary to take this guy down, comparing him to Hitler. And then they turn
This is
around,
coming from our own. How are we supposed to win when our own side is sabotaging candidates
right?
and then blaming Trump? It's just.
And then it's Trump's fault. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. Okay, so some of this stuff is not on the same subject, but okay. So Karl Rove's on Fox right now saying how it's Trump's fault and you can't keep doing this, and Trump, blah blah blah. So Karl Rove apparently made up some accusations about domestic violence against another one of our candidates. This is Eric Greitens from Missouri. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The way that they're attacking. Here's Karl Rove. He created a super PAC. So a super PAC is a political action committee where you send a bunch of donations and they could use it for campaigns. It's basically this organization set up for campaign donations. And he set up this campaign donation super PAC and used money to support the Democrat nominee in Pennsylvania.
Ooh, it just happens to be a swing state.
In a swing state, right? And then we wonder why we lost. Like these people are literally helping the other side, running attack ads against our guys. And then Karl Rove comes out on Fox and blames Trump. If you guys can't figure this out, what's going on? It's because, you know what? I don't even blame the average voter. It's because the conservative influencers and pundits that you're listening to are not telling you this stuff. You need to ask yourself why they're not telling you. Number one, they're either ignorant, they don't care enough to even look into this stuff, they don't know what they're talking about, or number two, there's some kind of corruption or they're lying of some sort. But I mean, either way, why are you listening to people who are not telling you this stuff? Because I mean, this is public knowledge, right?
So if you have someone that you're listening to that's like, it's because of Trump that we lost, you really, and yet not sharing with you the fact that there are people on the GOP that are purposely sabotaging Trump candidates. If they're not telling you the full truth, you need to trust their judgment, or they're just paid up. They're just paid to say whatever whoever's paying them, they want them to say. And it's just really discouraging, because for someone like me who's left the left, I did not unite and join with the right to join the good old boys corrupt club. And a lot of people think, oh, Trump is divisive. Actually, he's very uniting. I don't think we have ever been more united than Trump 2020. I remember what it was like. We went to
Yeah.
these rallies and
Remember
everyone
the
was
rallies?
just like super stoked on this guy because we loved what he did for 4 years. We saw how the left attacks him, and we saw how people on the right that are corrupt attacked him as well. And
Mhm.
he was a very uniting candidate. And now they're trying to act like he's divisive. And guess who's the ones who's calling him divisive? All of these like GOP pigs that are known for not being very pro America. They say one thing and then do something else.
The
So
rhinos. The
yeah,
rhinos.
exactly. And the other thing is that anyone who runs against Trump, that's actually who the divisive person is, because someone like me who was not participating in politics, I was jaded. It was in 2012,
Mm.
it was Obama versus Mitt Romney and Paul
Mhm.
Ryan. You think
Mhm.
I'm going to be excited to go vote for a
What's the
Mitt
point?
Romney or a Paul Ryan? No. It doesn't mean, and then there's people that are like really slow that'll be like, so what? You're just going to vote for Obama then, or you're just going to vote for Biden? No, that's not what that means. We're not going to go running back to the left. The left is done. But we should be winning all of these elections by a landslide,
By a landslide.
considering how crazy the left has become.
Well,
So
the
there's
point is that
yeah.
Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, you would have just stayed home, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, what's the point? You know, it's you got establishment swamp on one side versus Obama establishment swamp on the other side. It's so what's the point? And so people who actually want to see some real change, not the fake change Obama talked about, or that the swamp Republicans talk about, you're just going to stay home. There's no enthusiasm. And what Trump did in 2016 is he brought this element that, wait, here's an outsider here, you might actually have real change, bring our jobs back and end foreign wars and stuff that really matters, you know, close the borders, things that really matter to the average person. And, you know, actually in Roe v. Wade instead of talking about it for decades. And so people like us who would have normally stayed home for Mitt Romney, we would actually come out and vote for. And that's why Trump was able to win in ways that they couldn't predict. Let me give you one other example of
I
the
think the Republican
Republicans.
Party is spoiled right now. I think that they are spoiled because there's so much enthusiasm for them, and the left is so lame and crazy that they just think they can run anyone and they're going to win.
Yeah.
And it's not
And
true.
they don't
Like
care if they lose.
the people like you and I, we are very informed voters. We don't just do what the left do. I'm going to vote for the less of two evils. I can't even tell you how many times I've heard a leftist say, I don't really like Biden that much, but I voted for the less of two evils. Like, it's just so, I have integrity. I'm not going to do that. If I think that both candidates are evil or both candidates are not going to protect the country like they should, or they have some sort of agenda behind them, I'm not going to participate in willingly handing my country to globalists. I'm
Yeah,
just not.
just stay home. Just stay home.
Yep.
Okay, so here's one last example. We won't make this too
Yeah.
much longer, but here is Mitch McConnell before 2022. You know, basically what this is saying, what this article is saying, is that if you want to win, if you're the minority party, you want to come out and lay out a vision and say, this is our plan. This is why you should vote for us. McConnell specifically decided, nah, we're not going to do that. we're gonna run in 2022 and not have a vision, not have a plan, no agenda. We're not gonna come out and say, hey, if we win, we'll do this, this, and this as soon as we take power. Instead, he decided, nah, we're just not going to. And so here's Sean Davis, who is one of my favorite. If you want to follow people who have good sources, Sean Davis at the Federalist is fantastic, and he's calling Mitch out, saying, how'd that work out for you, Mitch? Basically, you lost the Senate on purpose. And you know, a lot of our viewers may know that Mitch McConnell also diverted funds from key races like in Arizona, and instead wasted money on races where he was actually running against the Republican nominee, like in Alaska. And so he brought up his own candidate to defeat the Republican nominee who had won the primary. Instead, he wanted Lisa Murkowski, so he spent millions on that instead of close races like Arizona, you know, Pennsylvania, things like that. So
here, yeah,
blame Trump is ridiculous.
And that's the thing. If you're listening to someone who's blaming Trump right now and not pointing out what Mitch McConnell did,
they're either lying to you.
We should be mad at him. It's displaced anger. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, don't be mad at Trump about this. Be mad at people that are sabotaging our own candidates.
Hmm.
Trump didn't go and
You should
sabotage
probably
anyone.
you should probably stop listening to those people, or you should call them out. You should at least call them
Yeah.
out and be like, look, I mean, because none of this stuff is private.
But you have
It
to see,
makes
the thing
no
is, you have to
sense.
dig deep for this stuff. And a lot of people are getting their news from commentators. You have, like you, Joshua, you actually go and dig deep for this stuff and find it. And then,
It's
but
not very
people just
hard to
don't want to do
find.
the research. They just
Yeah,
want to
I know.
hear from
No,
their
I
favorite
agree.
commentator.
That's why I get so mad at the commentators, because they should know better. They should
Yeah.
know this stuff, and they're acting like it's not there. Like, I mean, it's either like, are you guys this ignorant, or are you lying? And that's why I
Yeah.
get so mad at them. I don't get mad at the average person, because I mean, yeah, they do have to dig, but I mean, here I'm just this average Joe. I could see all this stuff. It's not very hard to find. But I mean, if you the people you are following and the conservative outlets and media that you're following, if they're not telling you this stuff, you need to ask yourself why.
And this is very consequential times. I feel like, you can give people passes back in the day when they made a wrong call on something, but right now it's just all too coincidental. It's a crazy time we're living in, and we have to stay vigilant. So yeah, stay vigilant, do your research. We're going to be posting more regularly, doing our research as well. And yeah, I think that this is the time. It's like kind of like a second purge or something of who's really going to stand up for truth and not just fall for narratives, which our side can do as well.
Yeah.